everything she's currently suffering, if she's still alive. The only other theory I think may be possible in this case is that Chelsea may have overdosed while she was with Sabrine and Justice, and they didn't get help for her. Chelsea was on her way to rehab and wouldn't have had much money on her, so I don't believe that this was a robbery. She was also getting along with them and still communicating with them in order to get drugs, so keeping her quiet about their crimes wouldn't have been a motive either. Now that we've discussed theories, I want to discuss ways that you can help in Chelsea's case. Of course, if you have any information about Chelsea's disappearance, you can call the New York Police Department at 212-694-7781. However, there are other ways to help Rose in her search for Chelsea. A podcast is in the works to specifically focus on Chelsea's case, and it is called The Find. However, creating a professional podcast gets really expensive, so a GoFundMe page has been created to help cover the costs and make this podcast possible. All of the money raised through this page will go towards the production of the podcast, the marketing, the website, and anything else that they need. If you don't want to donate to the podcast, there is a separate GoFundMe page that has been set up specifically for hiring private investigators and anything else needed in the search for Chelsea. Rose is now raising Chelsea's son, but he desperately needs his mother back. When I think about my own kids, it breaks my heart to know that Chelsea is out there and not reunited with her son. You can tell through social media that she loved him so much, but addiction is a terrible demon to face and has destroyed so many families. Chelsea needs our help, and this seems like another case that has fallen by the wayside due to the circumstances. When I previously talked about the addict that I love, she's a mother too. She has been sober for a year and on her way to recovery through the program she's completed and the classes that she's taken. I'm so very proud of her, but she told me something that I'll always remember. In her classes, she learned that no matter how long you go without, you will always be an addict. It's something that is permanent in you and a battle that you have to face daily. So when you see an addict on the street or a missing addict on the news and you judge them for the choices that they have made, please remember that they are someone who was extremely loved and cared for and missed. Chelsea Cobo was 22 years old at the time of her disappearance, and she would be 26 today. She was a Hispanic female and stood between 5'2" and 5'5". She was also between 150 and 170 pounds. She was last seen wearing a New York Yankees jacket with a blue chest and gray sleeves, a black hooded sweat jacket underneath that, gray sweatpants with a stripe down the side, and chestnut-colored Ugg boots. She was wearing a silver necklace with a silver Italian horn on it, and she was also wearing a silver ring with a Roman Catholic cross on it. She had a Coach shoulder bag as well. She had brown hair and brown eyes, and her left eye is a lazy eye. At the time of her disappearance, her hair was dyed blonde. She had both of her ears and her nose pierced, and she also has a tattoo across her hip with the phrase, "I fly with my own wings." She wears prescription glasses and they had black frames in them. You can find the Facebook page set up for Chelsea by searching for Help Find Chelsea Cobo. I will also have the link for that page and the GoFundMe pages in the show notes. I would really like to know what you think about Chelsea's case. Do you have the same theory as me, or do you believe that something else happened to her? I would also like to know what cases you would like for me to cover in the future, so please let me know. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram by searching for Missing Souls Podcast. You can also send me an email at missingsoulspodcast@outlook.com. Stay safe and be careful when choosing your friends. Until next Monday, I'm your host, Savannah Robbins, and I speak for the missing.